Your hometown information station, 1540 WADK.
But as we started off the top of the hour with talking about retail and shopping,
yes,
I wanted to introduce our guest today. We have Louie Rousso from RK Centers. Good morning, Louie.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me today.
So we're happy to have Louie because apparently he actually has done radio in the past. So this is an extra special event.
Yes,
not only
the
is he
learning curve is just non-existent.
That was another lifetime ago, so there's some rust to be shaken off.
Sorry, it's like falling off a bicycle. You never forget how.
That's kind of true. Yeah.
No question. Yeah. But it's great to see you and great to talk to you. We're going to talk about all of your favorite shopping centers, the RK centers. Just list the shopping centers that are under your umbrella.
Well, we have 4 centers on the island right now. We have 3 in Middletown and the big dominant one in Newport. And the one in Newport is anchored by Walmart and Stop and Shop and TJ Maxx and Old Navy. So for the most part, that is our bread and butter, the convenience-oriented daily shopper center. Much like the one on Route 114 in Middletown, anchored by Stop and Shop, and Gold's Liquors is there. So we definitely have a very strong tenant mix on the island of everything you could possibly want, really.
Fantastic. We're going to talk about retail shopping, which is very much alive and well. I think that's kind of the theme today.
I'm glad you said that. People are always like, oh, retail's dead. It's dying out. Amazon's killing everything.
Yeah, that's why you only have 27 shopping centers on Aquidneck Island, because shopping's so terrible. But we'll find out more about that and just find out that the conventional wisdom is often neither. So hang on to that, and we'll talk shopping with Louie Rousso from the RK Centers in this hour here in the business of Newport County. We'll meet a brand new business of the week as well in about 30 minutes' time.
WADK gives you the information you need.
If you're not informed, then you're out of the loop.
On air and online.
And if you're out of the loop, you have no idea what's going on.
WADK.com.
It's the business of Newport County with the Newport County Chamber of Commerce and Blakeley Andersen. And you had the perfect description for today's program. We are
riffing about retail.
That's the one.
We are.
I like that.
We are riffing about retail. I can't get enough of the alliterations today.
It's all right.
We are here with Louie Rousso. And Louie, hello.
I'm here to riff about retail.
Riff about retail.
This is the first I'm hearing you say that.
Riff about
I like it.
Riff about retail.
RK retail?
RK, but see, R doesn't, it's not the R.
Renan?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Renan.
Okay.
Renan,
right.
Yes.
We'll go with it.
Riff about Renan's retail.
Yeah, exactly.
So we should let our listeners understand what we're talking about. So we're here. Louie is with RK Centers, and I always know what that is because of the basketball. So let's just get that out of the way first and foremost. What's up with the basketball logo?
I get it all the time. And I can tell when we meet potential tenants, we meet people, there's always I just got to ask you one question. And I always know what that one question is. I know exactly what's coming after that. And it is, for those of you who are not familiar with the logo, it is a basketball logo, a basketball going into a hoop, a big orange basketball, followed by RK Centers. So our founder and the owner of the company, Renan Katz, basketball's always been a big part of his life.
Yes.
He played overseas. He played in Israel. He tried out for the Celtics.
Yep.
And he eventually, down the road, became one of the original minority owners of the Miami Heat. So basketball is it's always just been a big part of his life.
Yes.
He's a shooter, if you're wondering what part of his...
Outside shooter.
He's an outside shooter.
I actually read the whole bio yesterday about Mr. Katz, and it is really interesting. And, of course, we do sometimes talk about basketball here because basketball is a big part of my life. Being married to a retired professional basketball player, and I have a wonderful stepson who plays basketball. So
it's a part of everybody's life.
It's a basketball world, and we're just living in it. So that's what's up with the basketball RK Centers.
You're not going into a basketball gym. You're not going into anything like that.
No.
That's the logo. And at first, I haven't been with RK for that long, but when I first joined, I was thinking, like, that's kind of silly. It seems like a silly logo, but I will tell you, it started more conversations and got more attention. It's the perfect branding tool. It works perfectly.
It is wonderful.
Yeah.
So before the break, we were talking about which centers, because we are talking about retail today. I started off talking about shopping local, and while we do love our small shops, we also love Stop and Shop.
You need to get your groceries somewhere, right?
Right. You do have to get your groceries somewhere. So we were talking about the different places that RK has on Aquidneck Island, and there's actually 4 locations. So let's go through those.
Yes, so like you said, we have 4 locations on the island. We have 3 in Middletown. We have right on East Main Road. Our one on East Main Road is anchored by Bed Bath & Beyond. We have Ocean State Job Lot is there. Marshall's is there.
Yep.
And Anytime Fitness is there.
A chamber member.
Exactly, chamber member. And then on West Main Road, we have a Stop and Shop anchored plaza with Gold's Liquors, with GNC, with Sprint. And one of our newer tenants actually moved across the street, Rose Perfect Nail and Spa.
Okay.
She'd been operating across the street she's been there for about 15 years.
Right.
In a very small, she was in like 900 square feet or something like that. So she took over a nail salon, 1,500 square feet, and really just built an absolutely beautiful nail salon and spa.
Right, which kind of speaks to the economy in the area, because of course we did have another TD Bank is going in, and they were mentioning that they feel as though there's a big uplift in the economy here, specifically in the greater Newport area, and to be able to be doubling your size of your spa.
Exactly, it's a sign. It's a sign of things are pretty good, right?
Exactly. So that's that one. So we've got the Stop and Shop out near Browns Lane on West Main Road. We've got the RK Center on East Main Road. And
then basically across the street from Browns Lane is the RK Middletown Square, which is anchored by Barnes & Noble, Michaels, Ulta Beauty's there, Petco is there, and Spartan Fitness, too, and DSW.
Spartan Fitness and DSW, both great chamber members. And then we're just working back closer and closer to where we are sitting on JT Connell Highway.
Just down the road from where we are right now.
We can practically see the large RK Center property that's down the road here with 99 Restaurant.
You can practically see it from everywhere on the island. It is the most dominant retail plaza in the entire trade area, with Walmart, with like we said earlier, Walmart, Stop and Shop, TJ Maxx, Old Navy. So it's a monster. It's a big one.
Yeah.
You can get it all your shopping done. You can get it done right there.
So that's so wonderful. So we were kind of talking during the break about, retail and what that means for the area, and what does we've talked about kind of like what RK's sweet spot is, or they do feel like retail isn't dead, right, Bruce?
Correct. Far from it.
Retail is still alive and well.
It is alive and well, and people think it's dead, and because of a lot of like the Toys R Us, a lot of the big boxes are going under.
Well, it's an easy thing to get drawn into the perception that something is a certain way or is not a certain way.
Right.
And it's part of the problem of life today, that we tend to get led around by the information that we're getting on stupid Facebook and all of the rest of that stuff. And, it's all bad, or it's all good, or it's all this, or it's all that. And instead of trusting our own experience, which we used to do, now it's, if I don't see it on the screen, it didn't happen. Or if I did see it on the screen, it happens. And it's nonsense. So, you can't have, it can't exist that you have someone like a TD Bank coming into an area. And, these guys don't just say, we'll just drop a bank here or there or wherever.
No. They're not just taking chances.
Exactly. Yeah. Without taking a good look, a long look, a deep dive, whatever you want to call it, and so forth. And seeing, hey, you know what, this is a good place to put a bank. Things are on the upswing. So you can't have both things on an upswing and retail dying.
Right.
Yeah.
They can't both exist.
Can they? Because
no.
Okay.
Because if the economy is moving along, that means people have money to buy things.
Right.
Where is it that they're going to buy things? They cannot buy everything from Amazon and have the UPS truck show up. Doesn't work that way. You have to go buy food. Yes, it's possible to all of that, but
like you said, you can't get it all on Amazon.
Correct.
And who wants to? Sometimes you want to be able to look at it and pick it up and try it on.
Try it on, touch it with your hands, and that's really what keeps people coming into stores. Plus, for Rose Perfect Nails, for example, you can't get your nails done online. You
cannot get your nails done on Amazon.
Yeah.
Excellent observation by Louie. See that? We found something that cannot be done.
That's why I get paid the big bucks,
online. You cannot get your nails done.
You can't get your nails done, nor can you get a spa treatment.
Right?
Wonderful.
There we go. All right, so we've got it. But no, it really is. As I say, I spend my days scratching my head at people's observations of things, and people really feel this. Well, retail's dead. Yeah, but the economy's good.
It doesn't add up.
Doesn't add up. So you know what? I'm with you, and so encouraged that there are local businesses. And this is even a greater indication, and to your point, Blakeley, and to TD Bank's point, local businesses are growing and are thriving. So you have this nail person who is expanding her space, and you're right there for it.
Yeah, and a local entrepreneur who's growing her business.
Yes,
in the area.
Exactly, and that's what for me, I deal a lot with the smaller tenants, and to take a tenant who has a dream or has a vision or just wants to take a chance and maybe open their second location and see that dream come to fruition, and then check back in with them down the line, and they're thriving, they're doing great, they love the center. There's really no greater thrill for me.
That is wonderful. And so what types of businesses, I'm trying to think of, what types of businesses that you do have in RK, and kind of what differentiates RK from downtown. It is a more convenience.
It's a convenience-oriented. That's really throughout our portfolio. We are all over New England. We have centers in New Hampshire, all over Massachusetts, four on Aquidneck Island, like we discussed, and one in Connecticut. And then we have about 2.5 million square feet in South Florida, too. So we're all over the place.
Just 2.5 million square feet.
Just a measly 2.5 million.
Just a tiny little 2.5 million square feet in Florida.
Yeah, just a little blip on the radar, right. So, but for the most part, we like the convenience-oriented retail plazas with your grocery-anchored centers, things that people need to go to every day. There's a lot of certain businesses are what they call like Amazon proof or online retail proof that will be protected from online giants like Amazon. Listen, Amazon's a $1 trillion company for a reason.
Right.
It's convenient.
They're not losing a whole lot of sleep over one nail salon in Newport, Rhode Island, one way or the other.
They're not. Exactly.
Having said what we just said, let's continue with this in a minute, Louie, and we want to talk about that idea of the online proof retailers and what retailers find, in your experience, what retailers thrive in an environment like yours, and are there particular ones that you maybe would look to add and would like to see coming in? What are your customers saying and things like that? As we continue talking retail, we're riffing on retail on today's Business of Newport County, 1540 WADK and WADK.com.
Yeah.
It's the Business of Newport County with the Newport County Chamber of Commerce, Blakeley Andersen. We're talking retail, riffing about retail.
We are riffing about retail today.
With Louie Rousso from the RK Centers, all the shopping centers around the island. And Louie, these are great days for RK Centers, aren't there?
Yes.
And again, we're kind of flying in the face of everything here because you must be almost at capacity.
We're up there. I mean, we have throughout our entire portfolio, we have a portfolio of about 8 million square feet in New England and South Florida, and especially New England. We're like, upper 90s, 98 or so % leased throughout the portfolio. Yeah, so there are a few vacancies. Actually, 2 of them happen to be on Aquidneck Island. So we just freed up a space. We just got possession of a space in Newport. Mm-hmm. It was the former 10 under space, so it's about 5,500 square feet, right in the middle of the center. So you drive right in, you see it right there. It's next to K Jewelers, next to Payless. And then on Browns Lane, on West Main Road in Browns Lane, next to Stop and Shop, we have about 4,500 square feet right there.
Who was there?
That used to be an appliance store a while back. Yeah.
So what kinds of places are you looking at? I mean, you must hear from customers and things. Hey, it'd be great to have a so and so. What are you hearing? What can you tell us about what we might see in these spaces?
So typically, Andrew Fish and I, Andrew's the director of leasing for RK, we bounce ideas. I'll just sit in his office, we'll bounce some ideas. Like, what does the area not have? We've driven the road so many times. What are we missing? What needs to be here? So we had the idea of formal wear because of the weddings and all the events that happen on the island all year round.
Yeah.
Especially in the summertime with the weddings and
of course
the black tie affairs that
like our auction, for instance.
Right?
Like the auction, yeah, exactly. You might have to put on a bow tie for that. So where are you going to rent your tuxedo?
Where do you go?
Where do you go?
And the only place right now is Joseph A. downtown. So we were thinking instead of having to go all the way downtown into the congestion, make it convenient and put it in one of our centers, which are a little bit easy to access.
And it's all good because the rising tide lifts all of the boats.
Right.
So you know what? A little competition is the best thing.
Is fine.
Where do you open a restaurant? Next to another restaurant.
As a matter of fact, when I had my own wedding in March, one of my friends left his whole suit in New York, and he had to run out and buy a new outfit.
And that happens.
Wow.
That happens. Yeah.
So where do you go? And you're absolutely right.
I think he.
So really,
I don't know where he went.
So that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
How about that?
So we try to, sometimes the ones that make sense don't always work out, though. So every once in a while we'll get a call from a random tenant that has a random use that just seems to work, and it works perfectly.
Yeah.
Fitness is also a big one. Fitness, we have Anytime Fitness. We have Spartan Fitness. So fitness used to really be shunned by a lot of malls and shopping centers because it takes up space, the parking spaces. But now, because of the idea of convenience and let's go to
a place you're supposed to be going, 7 days a week.
You go every day.
Supposedly, yeah, of course.
Traffic.
Yeah, exactly.
Supposed to be going.
So, but if you can go to the gym and get your groceries done right there, or get your nails done right there, at this all in the same place, then that's the convenience that we offer in our centers.
So, are those the types of places on your radar?
Those are on our radar. We also, Andrew and I were really love the idea of an indoor play facility for kids.
Oh yeah, like one of these trampoline places,
like a trampoline place, or even a place for parents. Newport is known for its beautiful beaches and summertime activity, but it rains sometimes on the island. It rains, and what are you going to do? I mean, you can only see so many movies. There's only so many options. Once it's rained twice, you've seen the two pictures for the kids for the season, and then what? What are you going to do?
And like this summer, it wasn't so much that it rained; it was just too hot.
Too hot.
Couldn't go out.
Yep, and we've heard that. So some parents say, we were just looking for a place to take our kids into the air condition.
Yeah.
Right.
And you can only walk around the store for so long. So if you can go hang out at a place that a kid can play for a few hours at a time, that's a no-brainer.
Wow. So those are some places that we might see on the horizon.
Yeah, but we also were saying during the break that if we'd really like to hear from listeners, and actually at the Chamber, it would be great if anybody has some ideas of what they feel like they would like to see on the island, what types of stores, what types of, whether it's a play space, which is a great idea, or formal wear, like what is missing out there?
Is there a restaurant that you want to see on the island that you just have been waiting for and hasn't come yet? There's the website rkcenters.com, and there's a submissions tab, and you can just, if you have any ideas, if you want to see something, you have questions, comments, concerns, whatever it may be, just fill it out, and it comes right over to the leasing team.
Excellent. RK Centers, the letter R, the letter K, Centers.com. All right. Excellent. Just great. Boy, what a great positive chat we've had here.
Retail is alive.
Retail is not dead, as you said, Bruce. And a lot of the headlines will tell you otherwise sometimes because, say square footage, the vacancies are up. But that might also have to do with the fact that some of these big boxes that take up a lot of square footage are like a Toys R Us or like a Babies R Us.
Sure.
So in the grand scheme of things, it might be one tenant that takes up like a third of a mall or something like that.
But there's somebody else who's waiting in the wings, knocking on the door.
The Providence situation.
Providence Place Mall. We were talking about that back when the news broke, and oh my gosh, what are we going to do? It means the end of an era. In fact, no less than Joe Piolino was saying, "Oh, this is the same as when the Superman building closed." Oh, the humanity. 5 minutes later, it's us.
Yep,
and we happen to be one of the best places to work, and all of this stuff. And it's like, okay.
Or landlords can, that big space like that. A landlord can very easily repurpose that space.
Sure.
For instance, our center on West Main Road in Middletown, it used to be a Sports Authority. That's
Right.
a big, big box.
Right.
And, we were able to luckily split that up, and we created 2 stores for DSW and for Ulta Beauty. So landlords are often repurposing those either for warehouse space, for separate tenants, for smaller tenants, because a lot of these big box stores took up a lot of space. You can get 2, 3, maybe even 4 tenants in that one space.
No question.
Yeah.
Excellent. RKCenters.com. Keep up the good work, Louie Rousso.
Thank you so much.
Great to see you. Great to have you on the Business of Newport County.